Welcome back to the Garden Hutch. Today we're going to do a bit of a spring reset. Let's get going. Well, spring has finally arrived. It's a great time of year for us gardeners. We enjoy everything about this. So today I thought what we would do is sort of just take a moment to reset for the spring. Over the last 8 weeks or so, we've been struggling to keep everything alive with the freezes and dealing with, if we go back far enough, ice and snow. And then we had 2 weeks that were just gorgeous and pollen came from all over the place. And then we froze again. So hopefully with the springtime being here, everything will sort of be on the uptrend from a temperature standpoint. So anyway, with all of that being said, what I'd like to do is we're going to start in the old garden and just sort of go garden by garden and A, discuss where we're at, and B, discuss what's going to happen over the next few weeks. So we'll start here in the old garden. So the thing I wanted to bring up, and probably the most exciting thing we have coming up in the next few weeks for the old garden, is going to be right through here. We've got about 9.5 feet or so from this pollinator bed through to the top of that first raised bed. And we've been discussing over time what to do with it. So we've had a company reach out to us and offer us a metal raised bed. So we're going to be installing that over the next couple weeks. We'll do a nice review, setup, that kind of thing. And then we'll probably add it to our garden vlogs for the rest of the year and kind of keep an eye on how it performs. The only other thing of note right now is in the first half, starting from the middle up of that middle bed, we have our early potatoes planted. There's not really much to see there, nothing has come up, but we got our fingers crossed that we'll have some nice tubers coming out of there. I would hope at the beginning of June. So up next is the top garden. Before I stepped in there, I just wanted to go over this real fast, and if you watch the channel, you've heard me say this a lot this winter. I need to work on the cadence with which I plant the top garden. So having said that, we'll go in there and we're going to look at the spring and sort of discuss what's going to happen from here until the start of the summer. So without taking too much time here, I just wanted to go over. So we have our spring gardens planted in here. So this bed here has got cabbages in it now. When summertime rolls around, it's going to contain peppers. So I'm just going to use this as an example for now. All of the beds that are planted now, minus 2, and we'll review those, are going to be reused in the summer. So the idea was I'm trying to make sure that I get the most out of these plants and all of these gardens before I have to put my summer garden in. As of right now, our plant date is going to be the last weekend of April. If we look at the 10-day forecast and the end of April is looking nice, it may move up in the year, but as of right now, that's the idea. I bring that up only to say that's how long we have for these vegetables to reach fruition. So anyway, so that means that mid-April, regardless of the side of these cabbages, we're going to be pulling them out. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping we have weather that kind of helps us out. I'd love to make some homemade sauerkraut again. We made some 2 years ago and it was delicious. So down here, these are carrots. Now I said I'm sorry, that this is going to be a summer garden bed. The only exception to that is the carrots. We put this bed in specifically for carrots. It does really well. It's in a good spot for them. We designed the soil to grow bigger carrots. What we're hoping to do is get a spring round of carrots, and that should come out with the potatoes in early June. And then in early September, we're going to replant them, hoping to get another large crop before the end of the year, pulling those out maybe a week before Christmas or so. Now, this bed here and that bed there, we are going to grow lettuce in these as long as we can. We will also grow radishes as well. We'll get to the greenhouse in a minute, but I've already started some kale and chard, and those will be housed permanently in these 2 beds as well. So the whole idea with these 2 rows here is to be our greens for the entire year. This spring we were able to actually get lettuce in the ground in middle of January, and it's lived. So as you can see, it's time to go ahead and start harvesting some of the bottom leaves on these 2 beds. So we're really excited about that. We're about a week away from big radishes. We have radishes that are big enough for salads, but With those icicle radishes, I like to let them get, you know, 4 or 5 inches or so before I pull them. So up here, again, the whole idea is to have all of this gone by the end of April. Probably middle of April would be a little bit more reasonable to say, but we've got all of our spring onions. Those radishes will be ready in about 2 weeks. And as we move down, these greens, we're not going to let the mustard greens go all the way till they're mature, where they're big enough to actually cook. What we're going to do with these is we're going to use them to supplement our salads as the spring goes along. Leslie and I both enjoy having a sort of contrary tastes in our salad, and mustard greens really complement the butter crunch really well. And then down there we have some more turnip greens, which we'll use the same as the mustard greens, and then additional beets and radishes. Well, there's not a whole lot to show here in the Pallet Garden. So what I'm going to do is just kind of give a brief overview of what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. Over the winter time, we went ahead and filled up all of the beds that needed it. We put in a few layers, or a few inches, I'm sorry, of organic compost. We also let a few of them rest for a while. So especially the melon beds, they needed that after the last couple of years. We also got the new greenhouse put up, and that's the next thing that we're going to show, because it's actually been a game changer for us here on the homestead and allowed us to sort of start a lot of our vegetables and production much earlier in the year than we have the last couple years. So now that winter is over, the greenhouse is going to be even more full than it is now. I would like to say this right here has started off really well. I'm not sure how it's going to do through the course of the spring, but the peas seem to really be enjoying having this bucket in here. The greenhouse made it through. We had lows of 24 degrees not long ago. I put that on our last vlog. There was frost and such on the inside of the greenhouse on the top of it, but the plants did really well. So for that, we were really excited. You can see we have quite a few of our pollinators started. That's another thing that we're really concentrating on this year. Our tomatoes and peppers are coming along nicely. And then over here, you'll see turnip greens, onions. Behind that, we have mustard greens. Those greens and onions are going to be part of that new bed that we're putting in. Even though the old garden we usually use only for a summer garden bed so that it has a chance to rest, because we do grow a lot of vegetables in it. But this year we thought it would be nice to sort of add something to accentuate it, because to be honest with you, through the fall all the way up until the summertime, it looks like sort of a dead area. And we want to bring just a little bit more life to it. So we'll wrap this video up here with just a couple things. First off, a thank you to all of our new subscribers and all you folks that are leaving comments below. Also the thumbs up, that helps way more than you folks could ever know as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned. It really does help kind of, I guess, inspire me to do more. You know, we started off doing one video every so often, and then last year we did 2 videos a week, and we got a good response from that. This year we're pushing for the 3 videos a week, and so far it's really worked out well. I put a lot of time during the holiday season in sort of making out a schedule so I wouldn't have to think so much about what I was going to do during the growing season. Another thing that I did want to mention a second time in the video is we did get our first, I guess you would call them a sponsor. I'm not real sure what to call them. They sent us a free bed. The cool thing about it was all they asked for us to do was do a review, but they didn't tell me what I had to say, right? So if the thing is terrible, I can tell you that. I did get it in already, and it looks really nice though, so I don't anticipate having to do a negative review. But with all that being said, I want to say thank you again to all of you folks who made it here till the end. We always appreciate you. Until next time, I hope you folks take care of yourselves. Peace.